How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at American Psycho issue number 4. Turns out this book is, I believe, going to have 5 issues in it, so this is the penultimate issue. I'd been thinking it was 4, but the story didn't end here, so it's gotta be 5, right? But overall, a really interesting issue, getting to see a bunch of big pieces sliding up to near their final space, and getting to see a lot more with the 2011 plot. Some cool stuff. The guy in the past that was following Bateman around is wanting to take a more active role and becomes kind of like this follower of a serial killer, which it is interesting. You don't ever really see a slasher with a follower and a helper. You don't get that too often, and it is a really new and interesting and different role for him. And where this devotion will take him at the end of this book, it is to a really interesting place that does put the story in a, the old American Psycho story in the comic in an interesting position. And then we get to find a lot more new stuff with Bateman. In the 2011 plot, Bateman and his daughter are meeting for the first time, and to see where the world put him, this nice, luxurious asylum, that's cool. The idea that Bateman's stopped and just living in peace now. It's not really what you'd expect for a killer, so it kind of twofold. You don't expect the killer to have an assistant, and you don't expect the killer to retire in peace, but the two will ask each other, about their mutual problems, and the girl's going to get a perspective on her life, but also a fun little twist that will lead us into issue 5, and I really think a lot of the plots of this book are coming together and coming into focus, and just lots of big, cool stuff has happened. If you guys want to see me talk in a little more specifics, we'll switch to the close-up camera. I'll show you guys some of the story, some of the art, but I'll try to avoid major spoilers. So let's go ahead and switch to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle, taking a closer look at American Psycho issue number 4. Right off the bat, a really fun cover reminiscent of the pop art of the time. Bateman in the lit doorway, abstract body bag and axe, and we even see that the light fades into a blood pattern shape. Pretty cool. If we flip it to the back, this confession has meant nothing. $4.99 for 1/1. And yeah, the 1/1 means first cover, first printing. Nice cover gallery in the back. And 2 business card covers. That's pretty cool. Anyway, flip it to the front, and we get the credits page as per usual, and we get to see that Michael Calero is the writer and Piotr Kowalski is the artist. And after that, we get into the story proper. Now, I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but I do want to take a moment, analyze some of the story, and talk about a few things, but no major spoilers. Anyway, we open up with this guy finding his place in the world. Basically, he said that he followed Bateman around and he doesn't want him to get caught because he believes in his work. So he's going to go follow Bateman to the crime scenes and clean up after him. So he says he's sort of like an apostle. A really interesting place to put him. He's not a serial killer, but he sort of idolizes and will help one out. Well, while he's doing his work, lady, the one who owns the building, will happen to come in, and he realizes that there's something inside her that's a little bit hard. She didn't scream right away. She might be willing to play along, keep the building's reputation. He could kill her, but he wants his first kill to be more special, and also the idea that, society would be willing to look the other way for these murders. He'll eventually be back home, and I thought his cat died. Did he get a new cat, or is he seeing things? But anyway, the phone rings, and he'll have to assume his detective persona again. I don't want to go too much further than this, but needless to say, it's someone who has found a pretty legitimate lead, and this will put him in a collision course with Bateman, and it does lead to a pretty interesting conversation, and we do get, sort of where this story is ultimately going. I like that this is the penultimate issue. This is 4 of 5. Everything will slide into its big kind of ultimate places, and then we will tie things up in hopefully an interesting way. But I really did like just where this conversation ends at. We also get the girl, who we now know is Patrick Bateman's daughter, visiting her father in a mental health facility, and she's quite surprised that the place is really nice and luxurious, and she's going to go meet her father there. And we get the first time we see him, Patrick Bateman just relaxing in this chair, smoking a big cigar. And I think that is an interesting way to put him, because you would expect him to die or be in this rotten prison or something, but he made the decision himself to check into a hospital and has been living a happy life. Bateman being this horrible killer, but he's just kind of chilling and relaxing. I guess you could say maybe he was the product of the evil world he was in, so of course it wouldn't want to punish him but reward him. It's a really interesting place to put him, and we do get the two meeting, talking about where she came from and her current problems, and to see this, sort of chill, just retired version of Bateman and interacting with, someone who shares something, really core to his identity. It is a really interesting conversation, and it does sort of lead on where the next issue's going, and I really do like where it seems to be leading us for part 5. Everything's coming together, and overall this comic has been really fun. Definitely recommend it, and I really can't wait till the finale. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my American Psycho playlist, where you can see me talk about the other issues of this comic. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.